I'm going to show you two of my favorite ways to open a bell pepper, and then I'm going to talk about why you might want to slice a bell pepper depending on how you're using it if you're cooking without a recipe. So to get started, I like to remove the end of the pepper if I'm going to be cutting it into planks. So planks just refers to slicing down the sides of the pepper. This is one of the easiest methods for removing the seeds, and you can easily from here go into slicing. I always like to slice the side of the bell pepper that's on the interior because that section isn't as slippery as the outside of the bell pepper. So when you're slicing a bell pepper, it's important to keep your fingers tucked under, and that way the edge of the blade can kind of rest right up against your center knuckle, which is a great guide for getting the perfectly even dices. So in a recipe, if you see chopped, that's the same thing as a dice, and if it doesn't specify roughly chopped versus small dice, finely chopped, go with a medium dice. And this is a great one for when you want to start the foundation of a soup where you make a trinity using bell pepper, onion, and celery. And what I'm doing for my soup up in the top left corner after I've sweated my vegetables is I'm adding spices. It's subtle, so watch carefully. As I'm cutting straight down with the blade, I'm slightly moving the blade forward, and that's so those pieces separate. And we have some nice even dices there, great for cooking. Next up, I'm going to show you a way to open the bell pepper that I like to call opening a book. So you want to remove both ends of the bell pepper for this one. Try not to remove too much, you just want to expose either end of the bell pepper so that you can get your knife inside of it. And just working really gently with the sharpness of the blade, I'm going to just glide the blade close along the flesh to remove any parts of the membrane or remove any seeds. And if you ever get to a part that's a little uncomfortable or awkward, you can always flip that piece over so that you're not getting too close to your hand. Not working from the end that's shiny on the outside, but flipping it over to work on the interior, I'm going to go ahead and make some more manageable pieces so that they can kind of lay flat on the cutting board as I'm slicing. So earlier I showed you that a dice is a great cut for when you're making a soup, but what if you don't want to make a soup? How else might you use some sliced bell pepper? I love to use sliced bell pepper in stir fries or salads because they cook evenly and they maintain their uniform shape and just look really beautiful on the plate. Now you know exactly how to open a bell pepper and you can decide which is your favorite way. Plus, you know how to chop and slice a bell pepper for cooking.